Hey guys, so today I am checking out the Sony 16mm F2.8 pancake lens, and there are two reasons why I am checking it out. Number one is there are a lot of people who have commented and asked me about this lens, wondering is it any good? And number two, you may already know this if you watch my channel, but the Sigma 16mm F1.4 is coming out, actually just came out this month. My copy is already in the mail, so I am going to be reviewing that on this channel in the next couple of days. So I figured now is probably the time to see what the Sigma has to beat, which is this lens right here. So let's take a look at how it comes packaged. So there's not much to see here. This is the box that the lens comes in. 16mm f2.8 Sony branding, no pictures. Let's open this up. Inside you get a whole bunch of warranty paperwork, and the lens itself, very, very small. I believe the only color that this comes in is this metallic silver because this is an older lens. Definitely smaller than a kit lens. This is what they call a pancake lens. So on the front, E2.8 16. 49mm filter thread, and then minimum focusing distance of 0.24 of a meter or 0.8 of a foot. Around the back, metallic mount, you have your connections here, and then you do have a ring around. It's relatively smooth. This is your focusing ring, obviously. Let's go ahead and pop this on the A6000 and see how it does. And here is the lens mounted on my A6000. It is quite a bit smaller than the kit lens even, maybe a little over half the size. There is the front, the curve of that front piece of glass. So let's go ahead and check out some sample images I took with this lens. So that is it for the sample photos. Overall, the images look okay. They're not amazing, they're not terrible. I would say it's a very usable focal range. If you use your iPhone on a regular basis, that's about what this lens gets you on a crop sensor. After taking those shots, I was curious as to how it would perform compared to the kit lens at 16mm. So I took a couple of sample shots from both. All right, so I have 4 pictures here that I'm going to compare really quickly. The 16mm lens will be on the left and the kit lens will be on the right. You can see the settings at the top. So this first shot is done at f3.5 on both lenses. From a distance, they look pretty similar, but let's zoom in and see if we can see which one is actually sharper. 16mm looks sharper here. I would definitely give it to the 16 here in the corners. In the corners, the kit lens looks a little bit better there. Not by much. About the same in this corner. Let's take a look at this side. Here the 16mm is a little bit sharper. Both of these lenses are not the best though in this shot here. Definitely see that it's sharper on the 16, but they're both pretty soft. Center sharpness, I'd have to give this one to the 16mm. Second shot here. Now this one I shot wide open on both lenses. Let's take a look at the lights on this tree here. So the kit lens looks a little sharper to me here. And you can see it on the chair as well. Let's take a look down here. Very similar. 16 might be a little bit sharper here in the center. And this edge here, it's a slight advantage to the 16mm as well. So kind of a mixed result, but surprisingly, the 16mm does an okay job. So this next shot is also done wide open on both lenses. Just because I'm curious, let's take a look at center sharpness. The kit lens looks significantly sharper here. Yeah, I would definitely give that to the kit lens. Let's take a look at bokeh. Kind of a weird shape here with the 16mm, but you can see that they are slightly larger because you're at f2.8. And let's see some more bokeh balls. Interesting. A lot of green color fringing here with the bokeh. This is a little bit smoother, but they look kind of like basketballs with the kit lens. So a little different, but that's how they look. Now the kit lens is this shot here. The camera does adjust for barrel distortion with the kit lens. I know that for a fact. I'm not sure if it does the same with the 16mm, because here's the 16. So back to the kit, 16, kit, 16. So you see kind of that bowed out effect. It's kind of like a bubble with the 16. That is barrel distortion. You'll notice it in this next shot here. Here's the kit lens and the 16, kit 16, kit 16. Next shot as well. This is a lot more apparent. Here is the kit lens, the 16, kit and the 16. So kind of a interesting movement there. And the last one, kit lens 16, kit lens 16. So it almost looks like the 16mm is cropped in a little bit just because of that barrel distortion. This can obviously be corrected in post-production, but something to know. After reviewing the first set of pictures, I wasn't satisfied, so I decided to go out a second time. This time I shot in RAW with optical steady shot off with a 2-second timer on a tripod, and I tried stopping down both lenses a little bit just to see if there was much of a difference, and here is what I got. The kit lens again is on the left, the 16mm on the right. Let's zoom into the center. Now this one was shot at f5.6, so I stopped it down a little bit just to see if that would even things up. So 16mm is definitely sharp in the center, or sharper in the center. It's also sharper in this corner, a little bit sharper in this corner. It's a little softer in this one, and about the same in this one. So I would say if you look at the center sharpness, there's a significantly noticeable difference here. The prime lens is definitely sharper. The next one was of some rocks here. Kind of a similar story. So sharper in the center, the 16 is. If we zoom into the corner, this one, the kit lens, looks a little bit better. Now this one was shot at f8, so the differences are not as obvious. This corner is about the same. Last corner here, sharper on the kit, and also sharper on the kit. So this one's kind of a mixed bag. The center is sharper on the 16, but the corners are pretty soft, even at f8. So pretty unfortunate for that 16mm. This next shot here is of a house. Let's take a look at the center sharpness. Now this one was done also at f10. So in this case, it looks like the kit's a little bit better to me. Let's look at the corners. I would say slight advantage to the kit lens. Both lenses have some chromatic aberration here. See, right lower corner looks pretty similar. Left corner, kit lens is sharper here. And let's see what we can find here. Kit lens is also a little bit sharper with the branches here. Let's take a look. This one is some trees here, but raw files take a bit to load. All right. So this one, I'd say the 16 is sharper. And these ones were done at f3.5, so you'll notice more of a difference here. Corners on the 16mm are soft. So let's take a look at this corner. Yeah, same thing, you could see it here. So the kit lens is not super sharp, but it's definitely sharper than this softness here. And again, this is at f3.5, so soft on the edges with the 16, soft up here as well. So this picture right here I would give to the kit lens as you're shooting wide open, or close to wide open, I should say. And then the last one here is completely wide open on both, so you'll see that the settings are a little bit different, 3.5 versus 2.8. But I was curious to see how they fared wide open. So the 16 is definitely softer here, wide open. If we zoom in here, definitely softer there. This corner, it's not too bad, pretty similar. And I'd still say it's softer there even. Let's take a look at some leaves. Yeah, you'll notice it right there. So again, soft corners, 16mm. The kit lens, even in RAW, it's not the sharpest thing in the world, but it's still a little bit better than that 16mm. So after all of that, I have to come to some sort of a conclusion. So what I found using this lens is that the centers are decently sharp. They're sharper than the kit lens. The corners, however, are a different story. They are pretty soft no matter if you are stopping it down or you're shooting it wide open. You notice it more with wide open shots, but the corners are very, very soft. So it's not ideal for landscapes, and at 16mm, that's what you're buying this lens for. Now, if you are just taking pictures of an object in the center of the frame and you want a little bit of bokeh in the background, you don't care about the corners, this lens is great. But in most cases where you're looking for sharpness corner to corner, center to corner, this is probably not the solution. And the fact that the kit lens is sharper in some instances, if not almost every instance, is a testament to that. A couple of other things to note about this lens. Number one, it doesn't have optical steady shot. The kit lens does. Number two, the autofocus, in my experience, isn't as good. It's pretty quiet and pretty snappy, but the kit lens does beat it a little bit. And number three, the distortion. So you guys saw the barrel distortion that I showed. That is definitely noticeable with this lens. Not so much with the kit lens because the camera corrects for it in body. So it's hard to justify the $220 price tag on this lens. Yes, it's compact, it's easy to carry around, but there are a lot of other lenses, particularly from Sigma. I'm thinking about the Sigma 19, the Sigma 30, Sigma 30 1.4, that are around this price, maybe a little bit more, and offer better performance. Last thing that I'll say before I wrap up this video is you can use some adapters with this lens. So they have both a fisheye adapter and a wide angle adapter. So that is a big plus. Those are about $100, $150, and you can screw them onto the front of the 16mm and create a wider lens. Or a fisheye effect if you want to, which is pretty cool. That is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something. I am very much looking forward to my next video, which will be the Sigma 16mm f1.4 review, which I'm very, very excited about. I'm tracking it on my phone and it's coming tomorrow. So look out for that. As always, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all the likes, comments, and support, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.